Hi guys, welcome back to snt-networks. In today's video, we'll be discussing about what is secure access service edge. So nowadays, you might be hearing this term a lot, wherein companies are basically, shifting their networks from traditional old, you can say networks, right, to a SASE, right? You might have heard this term called SASE. So SASE is nothing but secure access service edge, correct? And you can say that SASE or secure access service edge is a cutting edge approach to network security that combines various network into single cloud-based solution. It's designed to provide secure and optimized access to applications and data, no matter where the users are located and no matter what the devices they are using. So SASE is not a single term, correct? So you can say that it combines both network and security. So there are modules in it. There are key components and modules. Also, uh, just remember this thing. It's network plus security. I'll come down to that in the later, part of the video where we discuss about, the key components. So there you'll have a much more clarity on that terms. So now, why is SASE used? Traditionally, what used to happen was once you are trying to connect or use an application, so this is the application like Salesforce. So when you're a user, you're trying to access the application. What we used to do was, reach out to your network, and you're a remote user, by the way. Reach out to your network, which was guarded by a firewall. Correct. So once you connect with this firewall or a VPN device, inbuilt VPN device or any VPN device, you reach out to your, let me just grab this off. So you connect into your network using a VPN device. Using that VPN, you have a perimeter firewall. You might have another firewall along the way, and then you reach out to your servers. Correct. Here you have Salesforce service. Just for example, any server or any application whatsoever. And then you used to access the application. Correct. So this was one way that, that is how you used to access it. Correct. Now, most of the applications, I think after, mostly after COVID, we have moved on to a hybrid culture. Correct. Now, most of the applications that we used are not just behind DC, right? They are globally placed along various data centers, or you can say that not just data centers, it is basically cloud based. So we use service as an application, SaaS services. Okay, software as an application or service as an application that we say it is mostly software as an application. So we use SaaS based applications. So what SASE has done for us is if you're a user, correct, uh, in a different part of the world, correct. So what you'll do is you won't connect to your data center directly, but rather than that, what you do is you connect to your neighboring SASE orchestrator or neighboring SASE server. So once you connect to your neighboring SASE server, it will give access to, as per your geolocation, by the way, it will give you access to your SaaS or software as an application. So this is a high level overview, correct? Now let's get into a bit of detail. Correct. What SASE is, why do we use it, and why is it helpful for us? Correct. The similar WH questions. So SASE is basically a cloud-based solution, right? SASE is delivered as a service from the cloud, making it flexible and scalable, not just data center dependent. Integrated, it combines networking and security functions into one platform, simplifying management, just like I told you. Secure. It incorporates multiple security features like secure web gateway, correct? Cloud access security broker, firewall as a service, and zero trust access, correct? Uh, Correct. And it gives you optimization. So basically, if you talk about SASE, you can break it down into its key components. There are four important key components. One is secure web gateway. Okay. The second one is CASB. CASB is cloud access service broker. Okay. Security broker. I'm sorry. And then you have zero trust access, ZTNA or zero trust network access. And after that, we have another service called SD-WAN. Okay. So now, what did we say? It's network plus security. So the first three parts, if you look at it closely, the first three parts here These three: secure web gateway, security. Let me just use a different color here. Okay, security. CASB, security. ZTNA, zero trust network access, security. So only the network part here comes out to which component? The SD-WAN component. So this is the only network part. Okay. First thing is, this basic difference that you have to keep in mind, that in SASE we have network plus security. Correct. The security part, we have three things: secure web gateway, you know, uh, cloud access security broker, and ZTNA. And only SD-WAN part is network. Okay. Now let's rub this thing off. Now we'll discuss it in a little brief. I think we have components in the next tab, so let's move on to the next tab. But before that, we have optimized. So it ensures efficient and reliable access to applications data, improving user experience. So SASE is not just based on data center, it's based on, what did we say? We said that it's delivering application. So rather than a user reaching out to its internal server and then accessing an application, correct? Or what you can say is connecting through a VPN, then DC, and then accessing application or a fire or a basically device, correct? Here, SASE revolves around applications. All the applications that are cloud-based for you, correct, can come under SASE. This is simple thing that you have to keep in mind. SASE will deliver cloud-based applications. So now, what are the key components of SASE? One is SD-WAN. So now let's discuss in the format that we're using. SWG, Secure Web Gateway. Then we have CASB, Cloud Access Security Broker. Then we have Firewall as a Service is additional. First, we'll talk about the basics ones. Then we have ZTNA, and then we have the only network part, that is SD-WAN. Correct. Now, Secure Web Gateway. So, Secure Web Gateway is basically, will help you access anything on the web. Correct. Will also act like a firewall. Correct. Will have an application control. Correct. And this will also make sure to allow and block traffic according to its legitimacy. Okay. Now we have CASB. CASB has a more granular approach wherein you can access applications, correct? But in just for an example, you are accessing something on something via the secure web gateway, correct? You are accessing applications via the secure web gateway, so the admin knows that you are trying to access LinkedIn. But if you're using CASB, it will basically help you filter on the basis of API also. So the filter power is so in depth that it can actually check API levels. It can also check what you exactly did on LinkedIn. You added someone, you did not add someone, you added someone on the competitor company or something, right? It'll have that much granular approach. Plus, it will have advanced security. So this has URL filtering. By the way, let me just change the color. This has URL filtering, but this will have deep level inspection. Okay. DPI or DLI, whatever you say it had deep level inspection. So nowadays, what's happening is most of the companies, like Netscope, for example, are combining secure web gateway and CASB because both will have firewall functionalities. But since CASB is doing a more granular approach, right, they're combining the functionality of those two and bringing it out to a single device. Okay, so that is secure web gateway and CASB. Zero trust access is nothing but not trusting anywhere, not trusting any user connected anywhere, either it's in the premises or outside the network. Always making sure that the user has specific authorization, the device has specific authorization before letting the user get at least the least privilege access. Correct. Dividing the network into different functionalities so that any attacker cannot, basically exploit, and lateral movement is not possible. Okay, so these are the benefits of zero trust access. But if you want to basically go in depth, we also have another video on it so that it will be a bit helpful for you. Correct. Just like I said, so it uses strong authentication, continuous authorization. It will periodically check if you are usually, basically again authorized or not. Because in real time, sometimes the admin might, remove you from that group. Plus, one more thing, it does role-based access, which is again very useful in today's security terms. Then you have least privilege access monitoring, continuous authorizations, like I told you. So these are the couple of benefits. Then this is zero trust. We'll just write for zero trust, trust no one. Okay. Then we have SD-WAN. SD-WAN is nothing but network optimizer. It will have you know uh, network optimization. Okay, it will have network optimization plus SD-WAN is very helpful for networks these days because it reduces cost. It's very efficient. Correct. It's efficient for upgrade as well. It does app-based routing, application-aware routing. Since the whole SSC culture is revolving around cloud-based applications or software as a service, you also need app-based routing, right? Okay. So it is application-aware routing or application-based routing. Then we have a thing called Firewall as a service. Provides cloud-based firewall protection, but most of them will use only these four because Secure Web Gateway and CASB will also have firewall functionalities. Then we have benefits. Improved security because it's comprehensive. Security features protect against a wide range of threats. Secure Web Gateway and CASB. Zero Trust is also in security. Then you have increased agility. Cloud-based delivery enables quick deployment and scalability because now you don't have to go by a traditional routing or traditional security. You can just enable a set of rules, add a user to a specific group. So once it connects, it will go under zero trust in order to connect. Once it connects using secure web gateway plus CASB, it will be it will have you will have a granular approach on what the user is actually doing, and on basis of that you will give them access. And you have SD-WAN for very quick and efficient deployments. So this is basic CASB. Sorry, this is basic SASE. Okay, then you have improved this thing. What do you call agility? Like I told you, reduced complexity. Integrated platform simplifies network and security management. You have enhanced performance, optimized access to applications, and data improvement user experience because you don't have a single data center. As per your geolocation, you get connected to your nearest SASE server, and it will give you access to that particular cloud-based application. So the downtime for anything is very less. Then you have cost saving, can reduce cost associated with a multiple security solution. Correct. So you just have to deploy your edge devices at places, and you have to manage your orchestrator. Correct. Talking about SD-WAN and SASE as a service also reduces the cost. But what you can say is most of them will have their own customized SASE. Plus SASE also, after SASE, now we are also moving on to SSE, Secure Service Edge. So the first three part, SWG, Secure Web Gateway, CASB, the broker service, and the ZTNA are called SSE. So what we are doing is we are removing the network part. The SD-WAN part is basically removed, and the rest three are called SSE. This SSE is now being deployed by user, and the network part they use on their own. Correct. So it's optimized. So for these three services, so basically for ZTNA they'll use Zscaler. Correct. For CASB and Secure Web Gateway they use Netscope. Correct. And for the rest network service, either they can use Netscope, or they can basically move on to any other Silver Peak or something else. So it's basically customized, and sometimes they don't even use the SD-WAN service. They use their own traditional networking. Correct. Or like Juniper Mist AI, right? It is also a type of SD-WAN, but they have their own different set of deployment. So now you're moving on to SSE because use your own traditional routing, but then use SSE for additional this thing security, wherein you don't have to use a traditional VPN firewall, and then user will have to connect. Right. So this is a basic overview about SASE. We will come back to you in depth in probably later on videos. And if you have any doubt and concerns, please do let me know, and we'll talk in brief about it as well. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.